Oh, this one's gonna upset some people. Welcome to the Daily Neitz, a daily look at classic films, modern cinema, and the world of professional wrestling. Today I'm talking about the Christopher Nolan film, Interstellar. Why am I waiting so long to talk about it? It's been on like Hulu for free, or not for free, but it's been on Hulu Plus for like a year now, and it came out like, what, 2 years ago maybe? It's been a while. And the reason why I haven't seen it until now is because when it first came out, it was a very divisive movie. I heard some people saying it is like the peak of filmmaking and it's an incredible ride. And then like my boss at my old job just told me it was the worst movie he had ever seen. And I'm like, I really like Christopher Nolan. Memento is a beautiful piece of storytelling. The Dark Knight is one of the best superhero movies ever. Inception, whether or not he stole it from a DuckTales cartoon or a Donald Duck comic or something, whatever the story is, doesn't matter. The way he told those stories was incredible. I even like The Dark Knight Rises. Shock horror. I think it's not as good as The Dark Knight, and it couldn't live up to the hype, but I thought it's fine. It's not as bad as some other things that we've gotten that have come out in the past year, Batman vs. Superman. So Christopher Nolan is like, he's one of the guys I like. I like everything I've seen of his so far. So I was worried about going to see Interstellar because what if I don't like it? So I waited a little bit. I feel like it's been enough time now that I could sit down and watch Interstellar. And not his best movie, but that's being said, considering his other films, Memento, Inception, The Dark Knight, but one of the best movies about space travel I've ever seen. I want to put Interstellar up there with 2001: A Space Odyssey. That is what is going to really upset some people. And there's a reason behind it. When 2001 came out, before that, space movies were, there was B movies, science fiction, and he took the genre and he made it smart. And he made it realistic, and he changed how effects viewed things, and that kind of thing. This is 2001 I'm talking about. Like, so that even today, you can actually go back and watch, I think that's January 4th of this year is what I watched. And you hear me talk more about that, and it's an awesome, awesome movie. But when it came out, people walked out of the theater midway through it. Just, I don't get it, I quit, whatever. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened with Interstellar, but there's definitely some similarities. Because Roger Ebert, in his review, of 2001, said, like, he couldn't believe people were walking out because he knew while he was watching it, this is one of the greatest films ever made. But people were walking out. That movie was very polarizing, and now, 60 years later, almost 50, 60 years later, like 2001 is a classic, and it is like the peak of, it is a space epic, and I think Interstellar could reach those peaks, because of the way it portrays so many points of theoretical physics in the filmmaking itself. Yes, the story has some holes. I did think the whole love thing was kind of lame. And yes, the runtime it's pushing 3 hours. But so did 2001. And nobody understood what was happening at the end of that movie, whereas this movie also ended with him floating around, spoilers, I'm going to be spoilery on this one, he's floating around in a tesseract that he fell into a black hole, he being Matthew McConaughey's character, Cooper. And he's in a tesseract, and tesseracts have always interested me because how can we perceive, we live in a three-dimensional world, how can we perceive something that is 4 dimensions? And the way that they constructed this 4-dimensional room essentially in a 3-dimensional space made it make sense. In some weird way I could see where it was going, and so like elements of string theory and that kind of thing showing up. The way that Gargantua, I believe, is the name of the black hole, and how it's this circle with light around it and like orbiting around it, light orbiting around it. And I believe Neil deGrasse Tyson said that was like super accurate, but I could be completely wrong. I didn't do enough research. But like how that looked, and how the wormhole looked when they're passing through it, and how the world's kind of folding in on itself. It was both beautiful cinematically and also helps these tough concepts, these tough theoretical concepts, make sense, at least in the universe, if not in the real world. And I really appreciate that, and this is one of those movies that like can help expand the mind, and it's pushing boundaries of what we can show in film to help like understand our universe, because there's a lot we don't understand, and I think it made some great strides towards doing that as a narrative film, and not as like a documentary or instructional piece, but as a narrative film. And then about the narrative, like I said, and like the whole love thing is kind of Disney cheesy, whatever. But the way they built the world was awesome. I love just the look of just dust on everything, and very subtle touches. Like if you go into this blind and it's like, oh, what era is this? This looks like they're in farmlands, like in like the 30s, and he has a computer. Okay, so this is modern times, future, I guess, but they're still in Kansas. Oh, the home of the New York Yankees. This is New York City. Where are we? And they never explicitly say, but they hint that it's maybe 2 generations down the line for us. But just like the slow reveal of this universe, and they never explicitly say like, oh, this was global warming, or this was that, or whatever. But it's like, it's an eerie sense of, yes, this world is falling apart, and you see it in everything setting up through the first act of the movie. Like they set up that world and the stakes so very well, up until he gets into NASA and escapes. But I love that world building, and also at the end when he wakes up and he's in the cylinder, and I was like, that's really cool. And I was looking at some stuff earlier, and that's like an actual design that NASA's working on for a space colony. Is that like inside of a cylinder thing? I thought that's really cool. And also the acting. That scene where Matthew McConaughey is watching like 23 years of his son growing up, but not his daughter. Heartbreaking. You can add this movie to the list of movies this year that have made me shed tears, because that scene was just crushing. He's simultaneously laughing and crying, and it's just a brilliant performance in just one little nugget. And what's her face? Oh man, her name is escaping me. Catwoman. Oh, what is her name? This is embarrassing. Princess Diaries. Les Mis. Her. That's bad that I can't remember her name off the top of my head. It's been a day. She was great as well. She wasn't at her best. I've seen her better. I thought she was better in Les Mis. But she was great in this. Like Michael Caine, I love whenever he shows up, and his heel turn was great. And little things like that, just great performances. I don't get why it got bad reviews. I understand the few reviews I heard that were like, it was good, not great, not bad, it was good. Because I think it was great. I think I don't think it should have gotten any sort of negative reviews at all. I just thought it was a fun time, maybe a little bit long, but it held my attention the whole 3 hours. I didn't want to look away, and just visually stunning. Beautiful movie. Loved Interstellar. Just great times. Great times. Alright. That's all I got for today. Tomorrow I'm looking at the Up documentaries, which I'll explain more tomorrow, because this one's a little different. I think I'm going to treat this one like a TV show. But until then, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can leave a comment in the comment section below. Let's get into a comment fight about how bad Interstellar is, I guess. You can also follow me on Twitter at Daily Neitz, and until tomorrow, bye.